Hi, in this video, I'm going to go over Points of View Reference Center. So I'm on Points of View Reference Center. My topic that I'm going to work on is homework bans. So whether or not you should have homework. And I'm going to scroll down to these categories down here. And there should be one. Yep, here it is, school and education. So if I click on more, it'll give me all of my options, and homework ban is the thing I can choose. So instead of just clicking and searching in the search bar, I'm going to start here. So the first thing it's going to do is give me a overview article. So I can scroll through here and read a little bit about homework bans, the history of it, an introduction, sort of where we are today, that kind of stuff. And it'll always give you some terms to understand in this understanding the discussion section. And then if you keep scrolling, it'll give you some history and then today. And so you can read through this, and if there's any information in this particular article that you're interested in, you can go ahead and save it. This little Google Drive icon over here will let you save articles. It'll usually pop up like this and ask you to choose your account. And then once you've done that, it'll ask you to allow. And now it should be saved. So it says that it's been saved to my Google Drive account. So that should show up in my Google Drive if I go to that. So I've saved my article. The other thing that you can do if you found a good article is grab your citation, because that's usually not included in the article that you save. So you just click the cite button, and then you need to scroll down and find whichever you're using. Usually we used MLA, so I'm going to copy that, and then I can go paste that into my works cited page or whatever it is that I need my citation for. So those are the two things that you can use on this toolbar over here. And then if you'll look at this little related items sidebar, it gives you a couple of things that might be interesting to look at. So it'll give you two sides of the issue. So the point is that homework should be reduced in elementary and middle schools. So at this point, you would have to decide if you're writing about all homework for elementary students, homework for high school students. I kind of am more interested in high school students since that's who I work with. So I'm not very interested in looking at this because I don't know that it would give me what I need, but I know that it's there if I need to come back to it. And then the counterpoint is that homework for younger students is an effective learning tool. So they're still talking about elementary students most likely. So neither of those articles are going to be very helpful for me. One thing that every points of view article topic has is a guide for critical analysis, and this is worth looking at. So when you click on it, it'll open in a new window, and it will give you a few things to think about, stuff you need to look for as you're reading, and it'll give you some advice. So that you need to take notes, how to review the terms, how to organize your ideas. And then it has this whole section on judging fact and opinion. And this is really important for a research paper. And it will give you very specific examples. So one of theirs is that research doesn't show a positive correlation between homework and academic performance for elementary school children. So that's a fact, even if I'm not writing about elementary school children. This is a good example. And then the opinion is homework is not beneficial for children. So in the example, it's saying not beneficial is a value judgment that you can't prove. And so the correlation can be proven or disproven. So there's really no way you don't really get this from this fact. But you can certainly spin things in your own paper. So it just kind of gives you some different ideas of what facts and opinions look like for each other. So down here, it'll give you some more in-depth things you might want to think about while you're searching, some information about deciding which side you are on, and then just some basic research information about what you need to do and what order you need to do it in. So this is a really cool thing to look at when you're trying to plan your arguments and think about what you need to look for and what kinds of things are more important for you to look at. And those are going to be the facts. So I'm going to X out of that. So over here on the left-hand side, I have a related information spot, and I'm just going to click on points of view. That's going to take me to a search. So this search is created by Points of View Reference Center about the topic that I'm looking at. But when you first click on that, it's only going to show you those points of view articles. So one thing I'm going to do to change my my outcome is I'm going to go down here and click on all results. And then it'll reload my page. And now I have 297 things to look at instead of, you know, the 9 things I think it said before. And one thing that you can do to limit some of your stuff is come over here on the side and change your date. So let's say I really want to focus on this century. So I'm going to choose 2000. And it gave me 6 articles. But again, if you come down here, it's because it keeps pulling you back to points of view. So I'm going to click all results again, and it'll reload my page. And now I'm within my limits that I wanted to be in. So I have 235 articles that I'm looking at. But they're in a closer range. The other thing you can do is look at the subjects. So we're definitely looking at homework. I'm looking in the United States, so I'm going to choose that in Education United States. And I don't really see any way to limit elementary versus high school. So I'm going to go ahead and update that. And now I'm down to 87 articles, which isn't much, but it's a good starting place. So I'll scroll down. We've already looked at our guide to critical analysis. We've already looked at our overview. So now it's time for me to start finding things about homework and whether or not we should ban it. So if I'm against it, I might want to look at this We Need Less Homework article. I do want to point out that that's from Teen Inc., which usually means that it's written by a teenager. So then I'll click next. And don't forget that you have multiple pages of results. A lot of people won't click to the next page. And sometimes you can find really good stuff that way. So here I have an article on the homework wars. It's from 2004, so it's a little bit older, but it still might be worth looking at. So I'll open that one and see what kinds of things I get. So this article looks like it's talking about when this whole homework debate started. And here we're talking about how much homework is useful and how much isn't. And here we're talking about what kind of homework and how your homework assignments, what kind of stuff you're assigning matters, and your time and homework. So this looks like a great article to me because I could probably pull a lot of information out of this. So this is one I would go ahead and save. And I just want to remind you guys that on EBSCO databases like this one, you have the option of HTML full text, which can be read aloud to you, but you can also choose the PDF full text, and it will pull up the PDF in a window, and you can read it exactly as it appears in the publication. And you might not want to do that. Some things only give you the PDF full text version, so in that case, you have to view it this way. And saving these is the same exact way. You just come over here and click the Google Drive button, and it will save this PDF article to your Google Drive. So I think that's pretty much the ins and outs of using Points of View Reference Center. And if you guys have any questions, I'm always in the library.